Hi, this is Nathan from the Osprey Online. Today, I'm going to interview Mr. Piantaggini, or referred to by his students as Magister P. So, Mr. P, why would anyone want to learn Latin?
Why would anyone not want to learn Latin? No, seriously. A lot of people want to do it for the benefits you've probably heard. Higher SAT scores, absolutely true. Better understanding of language, absolutely true. A lot of people say they really learned English once they started learning Latin. Definitely true. All of these things are true. But there's also another side of it, and it doesn't actually have to be a purpose. We have 4 languages here. Maybe Latin is the one that appeals to you the most. I took Latin because I thought it was the coolest language in our alphabet. And I didn't want to learn a new alphabet. I said, okay, I'm going to choose that one. There's a quote from someone famous, I don't know who it is, who said he played the violin because he liked the violin. All you need is interest in something to take it in high school and beyond.
How do you teach such an abstract subject? There are no native speakers.
That's true. Not like, you mean Spanish or French or Chinese. Right.
Mhm.
Well, the way I teach Latin is I focus on providing understandable messages, orally and in writing, to students. So that means even though there's some really high-level literature that a lot of people eventually read in the canon that is Latin classics, you gotta start somewhere. And I'd like to make my classes understandable to everyone that takes part in that experience.
Your teaching style isn't exactly conventional in any way in other language classrooms even.
It's very different. You probably want to know why.
Yes.
Why? I got a D in Latin. You don't even know that. You don't know that?
No.
I got a D in Latin the first time I took it. It was in the summer. In college. It was my 3rd year of being in college. I decided I wanted to start Latin. And I was really, really motivated. But it was just too fast. And I got a D. Now, don't worry. I got better. I graduated cum laude with praise. It's one of those honors you can get on the diploma, which is pretty good. The point is that I was really, really motivated to learn Latin, and the way it was taught didn't work for me. And I thought maybe there's something wrong with me. Turns out a lot of people learn languages the way I do. In fact, most people learn languages the way I do. And it's not how Latin has been taught. So that's why my teaching looks very different.
You recently introduced jobs to the classroom. What are some examples?
You mean the student jobs?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, if you remember, we had student jobs only a couple times as needed when we were creating the stories as a whole class. It turns out I really wanted the experience of Latin class to come together, to be more like a family in each class and give a role for each student. These roles reflect personalities, reflect actually really funny, quirky things about each student, depending on which role they chose. Now, not everyone got the job they wanted. Custos Anglici was in high demand. That is the job. It's my favorite job right now.
What does Custos do?
The Custos Anglici is basically English police. And this student throws a stuffed animal at my strike zone if I don't ask for permission to speak in English beforehand.
Do we have the stuffed animal?
We do. The student will choose their... These are classic examples. We have the bubo. This is nice and soft, and it's not much to it, easy to throw. The Black Knight has a lot of parts that can fall off.
I could imagine that there's some collateral damage. Are there any other interesting jobs?
Donaldus Trump. Donaldus Trump fires a student who isn't doing their job well. Donaldus has to read the room. If everyone thinks they should get another chance, okay, Donaldus will not fire a student. But I gotta say, in one of the classes, a student has been fired
Wow.
for not doing their job correctly.
What happens then? Do they get unemployment benefits?
They have
or-
to stand in unemployment line in the Latin class, yes.
Ooh.
And they
Nice.
don't want to know what happens,
Mm-hmm.
but it'll be divulged shortly
Okay.
what that means.
Right. Well, thank you for this interview.
Thank you.